We have so much to be grateful for every day. All these things that we use every day that is now just typical of our lifestyle. Get up every day and focus on being a good human being and helping others around you and putting out that positive energy. And watch what will happen in your world. I need you to find a purpose and back a cause and go out and do your part because that's what we're here to do. Welcome back to another episode of the Unstoppable Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Crane. This is a sad message today. It's a statistic and fact that I learned that really broke my heart recently. Last weekend, my wife and I were at church, and they had this day where they were bringing awareness to the attendees in church about different initiatives and endeavors in which we could give back to the community and help people in need. One of the causes that we could be a part of was just basically community service. Another one, which me and my oldest son Mason, who's 15, signed up for, was to go to Mexico during spring break and build homes for people that don't have adequate shelter, which is just crazy because they're right over the border of San Diego. And that's rated one of the most peaceful cities in the world. And then you have Tijuana, Mexico, with people that are burning trash for to cook their food and burning trash for heat to stay warm. It's really heartbreaking, And then the third cause, organization called Team World Vision, and they're bringing awareness to the fact that children throughout the world don't have adequate drinking water. And they showed this video of women. I believe it was in Nigeria or some African country. Three moms, three women who had to hike miles from their village with 40-pound jugs on their back, three of them each, to go and find water and then fill up those jugs and bring them back to the village. And they didn't just walk up to this nice running stream, this big lush river. They walked to this open plain of dirt, and they started digging in the dirt, and then water started coming to the surface, and they filled up their jugs and walked back with those jugs strapped to their back. And just seeing that clip, realizing how people live throughout the world compared to how we live in America, it's very eye-opening. It's shocking. And there's a really sad and horrific statistic, and it goes like this. 1,000 children throughout the world die every single day due to complications from drinking water, meaning lack of adequate drinking water or drinking water that is unfit for them to drink, and it can cause all kinds of issues with digestion, health complications that leads to death. So I don't know how accurate or precise this statistic is, but the truth is if just one child dies per day because they don't have the right drinking water and it's preventable, it's mind-blowing. It's heartbreaking. When I heard that statistic, my wife Jessica shared it with me, I was thinking about my young children. Children 5 and under, 1,000 children 5 and under die every single day from a lack of adequate, healthy drinking water throughout the world. Immediately I thought of my children. Bella's 7 months, Preston's 5, Scarlett's 6 now, so she's above that threshold. But the point is, they're young children, and those are the young children in other countries who are dying because they don't have drinking water. Like, think about right now your life. Think about the things that you're challenged by, your so-called problems. Right? We get so caught up in our lives and our world, and we don't realize how good we have it here in the United States of America. We don't realize how good we have it in the year 2025. We don't want for anything. When you have dinner at night or you go out to eat, I want you to realize that's how kings and queens and, people of nobility, people of the highest echelons of life lived hundreds and thousands of years ago. And we feast like this every night. In America, in developed countries, we don't really want for anything. We don't struggle. Your problems are fabricated in your mind more so than reality. And don't get me wrong, people have issues, people have problems, but it's much different than needing to hike miles and miles every day for drinking water. And this takes me back to the conversation I had with an Ethiopian Uber driver a couple months ago. And he told me, growing up in Ethiopia, they had to run to school as kids. They had to run 2 hours to school from their village and 2 hours home just to get an education. And I started thinking about, God, how are people in this modern world that we live in, with all the advancements in technology, all the resources, all the financial ability, that we have, all the finances at our disposal. How are people still dying every single day? Young children, thousands of them, every single day from a lack of healthy drinking water and access to, things that you and I take for granted every single day. It's heartbreaking, man. And, I'm at a point in my life where I've overcome a lot. I've overcome my demons. I'm a success story, you guys. Like, I come from a family that had drug and alcohol addiction and issues, from a broken home. I was plagued by addiction myself. I spent time in prison. I faced life in prison. I've been able to redeem myself and create a life that I'm truly proud of and one that I love. And I can't think of anything better to do with the rest of my life than to be able to give back to those who are less fortunate, those who don't have what you and I typically take for granted every day: a glass of drinking water, a toilet to go use, a refrigerator with food in it, doctors that you can go see when you're sick, medicine, gosh, like your freaking phone, the TV, whatever it is, a car, a vehicle. We have so much to be grateful for every day. All these things that we use every day that is now just typical of our lifestyle. People throughout the world don't have this. So my wife Jessica, that day at church, signed up to do a half marathon in March with my son Mason in Los Angeles to raise awareness and funds for Team World Vision, which is the nonprofit that's raising awareness and funds to help fix this issue, particularly in Africa, but other parts of the world where kids don't have adequate drinking water. So I'm going to post the link in the chat below. I'd like for you to donate whatever you can. I don't care if it's $50, 100, 500. This is something that I'm going to be donating money into. I'm going to be providing resources. I'm going to do everything I can to share this message with as many people as possible. My goal is to raise $100,000 for Team World Vision, to do my part. And this is just the beginning of my initiative to do my part, to give back, to make an impact, to save and change as many lives as possible. When I started my coaching company and my business, Unstoppable 365, it was to help men to overcome their demons, men to create lives that they loved, men to become examples, to become good leaders for their families and their businesses, and to create that ripple effect in society where we have strong leadership, masculine men who will protect and guide and lead their families the right way. And I'm doing that, and I've been able to do that. Now this feels like the natural next step and extension of what God put on my heart many years ago, and that was to be of service and to give back time, energy, resources to make an impact in people's lives, and to do it in a way that was purely genuine and like from a good place. Like I can't fathom like having a baby, somewhere, and then seeing them die because they didn't have drinking water. Like if you're parents out there and you're listening to this and you have young children like I do, could you imagine, the joy that you have finding out that you're going to have a child with, your sweetheart, the love of your life, your husband, your wife, and then you have that child and then they don't even have like drinking water or food, and you see them die in front of you because of that, or they have drinking water but it's not healthy, it's not clean, and they get some type of parasites, or they get some type of stomach virus or issue that takes their life. Like that would just be so devastating. And then to know people across the world are flying around in private jets and they have, multiple homes all throughout the country, and they have like more money than they could ever spend, and they're not helping you. Like think about that perspective. I'm a capitalist. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an ambitious guy. I love America because you can have a dream and a vision and you can manifest it with enough hard work and enough grit and determination. And I love seeing people like an Elon Musk or whoever, Jeff Bezos, like Warren Buffett, all the people that have created immense amounts of wealth, because it shows others what's possible. There's no freaking limits in this life. But you start looking at the way we live, and you start looking at the amount of wealth that we've accumulated in this country and other more developed countries. And then you look at the way people live in like some parts of Eastern Asia, Africa, the Middle East. And I think that as human beings, we have an obligation to help them. And I'm not saying that it's just all handouts and freebies, because we know that each individual in life has to want it for themselves. They have to work hard. That's why like communism doesn't work, or like people on welfare, like they're not incentivized to change, or just handouts in general. Like look at people in the recovery community. Like I come from a background with addiction. If they don't want to change, they're not going to change, no matter how much resources, funding, housing, like opportunity you give them. The person has to want it for themselves, right? That's not this type of situation. What I'm talking about is people in other parts of the world that are scrapping to survive every day. They're living in these dilapidated shanties and huts, and they're living in dirt, and they're eating poor quality food. They don't have drinking water for their children. These are people that we need to be focused on helping. And if we can raise awareness and raise funds and provide capital, maybe, just maybe, we can do our part and save some lives, save some kids' lives, man. That's what this is about for me. So I'm going to be donating money. I'm going to be raising funds for this cause, Team World Vision. You can go on there. I'm going to post a link below. It's directly correlated to my wife Jessica's profile and her initiative to not just go out and run this half marathon in March with my son to raise awareness, but then to spread this message to family, friends, our community, and beyond using social media. We live in such a divisive time. Everyone like hates each other. Republican, Democrat, gay, straight, black, white. Like everyone has a lot of resentments right now. But if we could focus on actually helping people and being good human beings, we'll fix a lot of our problems. A lot of times, if you want to fix issues, it's stop letting your ego get in the way, stop pointing fingers and trying to blame other people, and just go out and do good. Go out and do as much good as you possibly can for the next year of your life and watch what happens around you. If you wake up each and every day and you go, how can I be of service today? How can I be an example today? How can I give back to others? How can I help change a life? At the very least, open the door for somebody at the coffee shop, smile at them and say, hello, hope you have a great day, right? Maybe next time you're going out to eat and the server does a really good job, give them a nice tip. I don't know what that looks like for you in your life. Get up every day and focus on being a good human being and helping others around you and putting out that positive energy. And watch what will happen in your world. Watch how your perspective will change. Watch how you'll start to look at other people and see the good in them. One thing that I love about going to church too is I'm around a bunch of human beings that are selfless, that want to do good. And I was there, last week, and my wife and I signed up for all these different initiatives to give back our time and energy to be of service. And I saw all these other people doing it. I go, wow, this is amazing. This is where I want to be. So you guys, Team World Vision is the organization that's raising awareness and funds to help fix this issue where children in other parts of the world don't have drinking water, or they don't have healthy drinking water, and 1,000 children, due to that issue, are dying each and every day. This is something that can be fixed. This is something that should not be happening in 2025. We're not living in the year 1500. It's 2025. We have enough money and enough resources to fix this issue, to eradicate this issue. It needs to be done. So please share this video with as many people as you can. Share it on your feed, send it to family and friends. I'm going to post a link in the comments. I'm just one person. God told me I need to help change the world. I'm just one person. I need your help. I need you to do your part. I need you to share this message. I need you to reach out to people that you know. I need you to get passionate about something important in life. I need you to find a purpose and back a cause and go out and do your part. Because that's what we're here to do. We're here to master ourselves, be examples, and then give back to others so that we can help them live exceptional lives. That's the blueprint. I need you. Let's go out and do it together.